Healing crystals, skincare routines, knitting a sweater, fitting in jeans. With Katie and Sarah, no need to worry, you're on a lady journey.
Have you ever changed purses? How chaotic that will turn your life into a tailspin?
Every day. My world is upside down.
My friend told me she changed purse right before a trip and showed up to an international trip without her passport.
Yep.
And as soon as she told me it was a purse change, I was like, I get it. And I feel like every woman will be like, oh, the purse change.
It's almost like I would prefer to just use one purse for the rest of my life. But then you show up. I've got a Le Sport sack, which I do love. It's very beautiful. It's got a beautiful print, but it does feel like I'm a mom and it's like my gym purse. Yeah, and so it's like you don't want to go there with a restaurant. Well, it's not a restaurant bag.
I want to have like a nice purse, but you can't really have one in the city. I'm not doing a handle bag.
No.
I need a crossbody at all times.
You need to just have it on you. You need it to have space. I have like these cute going out bags that I got, and it's like, great, I can fit one lip gloss in here.
Yeah.
It's a teeny tiny boy.
Purses.
We
did not know. Yeah.
Welcome to Lady Journey.
Have we ever talked about purses?
I think we did the first year.
Yeah.
But we could
does seem like first year topics. Now we're deeper. And
I would love to do a Lady Journey, maybe a bonus where we both bring in all of our purses.
I'm into that.
Purse roasting?
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to purge my purses.
A purse purge, of course.
And then a year goes by and I've bought all new ones that I probably previously had. And I'm like, because I follow somebody being like, you don't need all those purses. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. It's taking up space. I don't need. Also, how many totes do you have?
Oh, I have 1,000 totes.
It's out of control with the totes.
Where I get out of control with my purses, my purse persecution is I have like 1,000 evening bags. I have like a teal one, a beige one, a different smaller beige one, a black one, a shiny black one.
Yeah.
And then you feel like I can't get rid of this because then if I have a different dress, then I'll have to get a different purse. And I have been hanging on to a teal handbag. I've had this for 10 years. My mom bought it for me at TJ Maxx. It is a teal gold and it's fabulous. Teal, okay? Are you getting this? It's teal. It has a rhinestone peacock. Many of the gems are missing, okay?
Okay.
And
do you know what brand?
And it's bunched. I have no idea, but it's like how on earth can I get rid of this? Because what if I decide to wear teal at any point in my life again?
Right,
I
because
could wear it at any time.
You don't know when you're going to wear teal, and you don't feel like going to look for that bag again.
I'll never find it. I might wear it for my wedding. Actually, I think it would be a fun wedding bag. If I have all white gown, then to go with a teal accent.
Oh, well, you know what I think? There's the wrong shoe theory online for your outfits. You should bring in the wrong purse theory.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, the wrong purse theory. Yeah. You know what purse I can't stand? I hate like the crossbody that has like
zippers.
Yeah, like
that reads
low
like
crossbody.
It reads tourist, but of a certain age.
Yeah.
Wearing like capri pants, which are in now. Which
capri pants are back in.
Are livid.
Blew me away.
Blew
my mind.
Was like, do you guys remember?
I don't have the calves for a capri. I don't want a pant that accentuates my calves. That's what I don't want. I don't want the eye to go. I don't want your eye to be drawn to my calf.
I know it's never been a flattering pant.
No.
I don't know. I think that just reads skinny girl. You like the fit because she's skinny.
I'm fine with an ankle pant. I like it. I have a great
like a cigarette
ankle.
pant.
Well, just really anything that cuts at the ankle.
Right.
I like something that hits at the ankle. Because I'm shorter also, so it's easier for me to not like having my pants drag on the ground.
Right.
But welcome to Lady Journey, everybody.
Welcome to Lady Journey.
This is how we start off the show. First of all, let's do a couple announcements because we had a show. It was amazing.
We did, and we rocked the house.
We did a giveaway by an incredible Astoria brand, Fern Botanica. They are a full-service florist They do events. They have a gorgeous webpage, and we did a giveaway of a floral designing class for one special person and 2 friends.
That sounds really relaxing.
Oh my gosh. I was looking, first of all, their website at Fern Botanica is it's so core millennial, like where it's like upscale. The colors are very well coordinated. It's just great. But I actually felt inspired to do a full episode about florals.
Oh.
If we can get that far.
If we can squeeze.
Yeah. We have backup topics. We do have backup topics. We're like, what else can we do? But as you know, we don't go that far with unpacking. We're quantity.
We show up and we unload what's in
We're
our
a buffet.
head.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're a buffet of thoughts.
We are a first draft. So
Yeah.
I got a reply guy. A guy, his Twitter handle was underrated reply guy, telling me my bit is great, has legs, but he thinks it has revisions and it could be better. And I was like, no. Do you understand Twitter is my barf draft for jokes?
Right. Like
I'm not here perfecting tweets on Twitter.
I know. How sad.
That it, yeah, you're
it's
like,
do you know what social media is?
I know. I just
go to a museum.
It was so, I didn't even engage because I don't try to engage with people like that.
Can't.
Yeah.
Because there's certain types of trolls that you realize that they're just actually, their little boner gets hard when you're like, excuse me.
Yeah.
No. And they're like, ugh, I exist.
Yeah.
But I say that to say, it's time for the stone dedication.
For the stone dedication.
My transitions are fun today.
Oh, I don't believe in transitions.
No, never have.
I just switch fast.
A non sequitur.
Yeah.
I want to say welcome to Darcy, the beautiful new
Welcome,
journeyer
Darcy.
on our Patreon. Darcy, today I am dedicating to you this beautiful pink tourmaline. This is some of our stones that we've gotten from Jacob E. Downey. Thank you, Jacob. The pink tourmaline. Look how gorgeous. Look how gorgeous. We've got
it's a deep pink that you could almost consider purple.
It's it's like a garnet in a way. And let's see.
I would like to see how this turns out in a rock tumbler if it's been there for a month.
Tumbled tourmaline. This is the meaning of tourmaline, which I love. It promotes feelings of self-love, empathy, and forgiveness. It's associated with the heart chakra, and it is said to represent unconditional love and friendship. Darcy,
that's
welcome.
a good one.
Welcome into the fold.
Yeah.
You're on a journey, and we are here to support you through chats about buffets.
Yes.
through a rabbit hole into buffet culture that we won't stop taking.
And we will always be dissecting. Yeah.
Mentally. Yeah. I go to sleep at night. Well, have you heard of this term like food noise? Have you heard of this term?
No,
it's kind of like
I
a
like
new, I think it's a
I love new terms.
It's a new term.
Yeah.
Everything is new now. Well, it just means like when you are, I think it's one of like these diet culture terms where you're like trying to focus on diet or focus on like healthy eating, but your mind is always kind of going off like, I could get a Snickers. Oh,
right.
I could get ice cream. Yeah. And you have to kind of be like, no, you know, you have to kind of like find a way to turn it down to like make your healthy food choices throughout the day. And I have it, but also that for buffet noise.
Buffet noise.
Yeah,
where you're
always
like,
thinking
you're at the entrees, but then you're like, what is
do I
that
get the green beans
over there?
Do I get the green beans or do I get the mashed potatoes?
Wait,
What's
I
my
didn't
side?
see that area.
Yeah. Whoa.
The
and then you're back
cheese
to
and
square
crackers
one.
are- yeah.
Oh my God. The meats, the charcuterie.
Yeah.
Anywho, so florals I think would be really fun. A fun episode to dedicate to Fern Botanica since they gave us an amazing giveaway for the show. And we want to support local business and just talk about flowers in general because we've never done a flower episode and it's so Lady Journey.
Yeah. Every time if I get flowers as a gift, I really enjoy them.
It's such a nice luxury.
And it is something, I remember hearing about like Elton John's floral budget.
Yes.
And that was one of those things you're like, I think if I had a lot of money, I would do a floral budget.
I love buying flowers for myself just at the grocery store. You know, I just get the little cheapy like tulips from Trader Joe's, but having
It's cheerful.
It's such a nice way to spend your money. Well, one thing that I felt inspired by was, you know, Kirstie Alley. She had like a cocaine problem before she was an actor. And then she famously spent her weekly cocaine budget from her years of like doing coke. She would spend it on flowers for herself, and she got really into like floral arranging. She would just buy them and arrange them herself. You're like, oh my gosh, how fun.
I love that when you're like, oh, I love the flowers. What's the story? And you're like, this is actually my cocaine habit.
Yeah. It's a visual representation of how much money I was spending on cocaine every week.
That there's actually a documentary coming out about the cocaine use in the 80s with celebrity, like Richard Dreyfuss was talking about it.
Wow. Didn't see that coming.
I think
he's like so uncool.
I know. I was like, oh, I didn't know he partaked, but maybe if you look back, his son is I think went to rehab, and they have a funny banter online on social media.
Fun. Yeah.
But yeah, you don't realize that some people had huge coke habits.
Yeah, I think Kirstie Alley was. I mean, I don't know what her flower budget amounted to, but I think it was probably pretty hefty.
Yeah,
pretty hefty.
I think some of these people had like several $100 a day coke habit.
Yeah, that's a lot of flowers. What's your favorite flower? What are your go-tos? I'll start. My favorite seasonal flower, which I love and I am obsessed with, is lilacs.
Okay.
I love all types of lilacs. I just love the scent of them. And I love like it without fail, they're only in season like a few weeks a year, but you see them at the flower stands in New York, or like in Astoria, I'll end up kind of like passing by a lilac bush. I was in Columbus this year. I passed by a lilac bush. I'll just stand there smelling it because it's the most incredible scent.
I like a flower that smells good. I like a classic, and we're gonna go deeper diving on this in a little bit. I like a good rose.
Love a rose. I mean, June is Rose Month in New York.
I know, and I want a house with rose bushes.
You guys have some rose bushes in the front of this building. Not to identify it. Don't look. Don't look for Sarah's home.
Well, our landlord's a florist.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. But I also I used to be I would consider this kind of basic now, but it'll probably have a resurgence years later. Gerber daisies.
I love a
joyful.
A davy.
A davy.
Oh. Awkward.
Gerber daisies because I like all the colors. But I remember going to Montana, and we walked by this house that what they were selling, and sometimes you can find them at the farmers market. People have wildflower farms.
The wildflower farms are unbelievable,
and I love a good bouquet of just plain wildflowers.
Yes.
There's something whimsical and just like easy about it that I like.
So boho.
It is boho, and I'm sure that's going to have a tipping point of trend.
I would love to go to a wildflower field. I just saw somebody posted something. They were in Washington State, and they just were like on a coastal wildflower field.
Yeah, there's one in California, and you have to make sure the pre-season before it gets a decent rain or something in order and people, there'll be like lines of cars waiting to take photos amongst the wildflowers.
Oh, so beautiful. I've also always wanted to do the tulips.
Yes.
In it's not Amsterdam, but like the Netherlands. I don't remember which part of the Netherlands it is, but it's like in the spring every year they have these incredible tulips.
Yeah. Right? Or is that still considered that's just Holland is another term for Netherlands?
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I always say Amsterdam meaning the Netherlands.
Right.
But the tulips are not in the city.
Is the Netherlands just the name of the country?
Yeah.
I'm having a Jessica Simpson moment.
Yeah, you're like
chicken
what
of the sea.
Is that but I also love Black Eyed Susan. That's like a kind of a wildflower too.
That is the yellow,
so beautiful,
but the distinct black.
Yes, so beautiful. I mean, I'm obsessed with floral prints also, which is one thing I was inspired to bring in, because this isn't just an episode about flowers, but it's florals in general. Like
a wallpaper with florals.
Oh my goodness.
Mixed florals I love too.
Mixed florals. I have my linens are all floral at home, and I just think it.
How does Mike? Does he okay with the florals?
He does not seem to notice. I don't think he's ever noticed. Because I had previously, when I was dating Mike, for Christmas one year bought him like linens because I was like, I think this is a nice gift and something that like I felt like he could use. And so I coordinated it very masculine, where it was like dark brown duvet cover, and then I think it like matched his curtains, and it was like nice, but then when we moved to our new apartment, I was like, I cannot have a dark brown duvet color. It was beautiful, but it was like this night. It kind of felt like sleeping in chocolate pudding or something, you know. But it was like nice, but it just made my room look tiny.
Yes,
and I switched it out. Light. Yeah, I switched out for this beautiful bedspread that I have now, where it's floral, but it's all kind of like monochromatic, like shades of green and like yellow. So a little I guess it's not totally monochromatic, but it just like it opens the room up so much, and I just feel so much better when I'm in the room.
Right.
And I was like,
well, it's cheerful.
It's cheerful, and it's like the brown was just taking me. It's too masculine.
Having a big item that's brown in the room is probably like a heavy rock.
Yeah,
it's like having a huge rock in your room.
If there were more brown tones in the room, it would be fine.
Yeah, maybe with some amber lighting and some, I don't know.
Like more like our curtains are like cream, the walls are white. Like I could see if we had like a tan accent wall or something.
Yes.
But yeah, I just love the florals. I've always loved floral for linens. I just think it's so beautiful.
Yes. I've always just particularly just liked I like them on, if I go into a house, like an English, look online, like Architectural Digest, a house that has tons of floral wallpaper. That is something that I would love to decorate.
I love it.
I want to do wallpaper, but I think it's high maintenance, and you'd have to pay somebody to put it on.
It's so expensive. It is. And then if you ever like going to sell your house or something, you have to like either redo it to be plain, because it's like
it's a hard selling. Well, and then I remember I grew up with a house with lots of wallpaper. It was like the trend of the 70s. Mm-hmm. And just over time, it would just fall.
Yeah, just
or bubble up, and then my mom would get so mad. We'd be by the house phone, and as a kid, and then you're just bored while you're talking to your friend. You're just slowly picking it, and she's like, this hole is just getting bigger and bigger. So it just wasn't practical.
Yeah. And they have like those giant sticker wallpapers, and it's like, it seems like, this is easy.
Right.
Then meanwhile, you're trying to align it.
I tried to do when we did our floral backdrop in the first season. I was like, they made it seem like this is a quick DIY for an apartment. And I was like, I couldn't even get it to work on poster board.
Yeah.
So I don't know how people.
Oh my gosh.
It's something you have to hire somebody that's been doing it for several years.
You have to have a professional.
10,000 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, first season Lady Journey. That was a deep cut. Our old floral backdrop.
Oh, I wish we could do a you cut too, and we have our hairstyles with the thick eyebrows.
Our gigantic eyebrows. So one thing I love the Victorian era. I know it's like such a repressive time, and it's very socially bizarre, but one reason I love it is because, I love like all of the floral prints.
Yeah.
And I was reading this thing that I thought was so hysterically funny. It was like the Old Farmer's Almanac, and it was talking about, I think maybe this was something different, but it was talking about like, because they were so repressed in the Victorian era, they had all this like secret like sexual communication through flowers, in terms of like what type of flower it was, but even like the hand that the side that the bow was tied on, or like how you handed it.
It's kind of like the modern day, the gay man's handkerchief.
Oh yes,
a coded language of what you're into, which I just went deep diving with a friend of mine recently, and I was blown away how particular some of these handkerchiefs meanings have. That's
so interesting. That's a fun thing to do for Pride Month, which it is July now, but I like doing a deep dive. Yeah. It is very like that, where it was like, but of course it was still very like, sultry, like so understated. But I just love the idea of like returning, somebody gives you a flower, like, you want to bang, it was like very like the you up text of the era.
Anal.
Yeah. What? The count. The count is wild. But one thing I did look up, which I think is really fun too, I've always loved this. It was Reader's Digest, the meaning behind every rose color. So I'm go through it with you, and these are hilarious too. Like, okay, obviously red is like passionate love.
Gotcha.
Easy, right? So
That's The Bachelor.
That's The Bachelor. You can keep this in mind too the next time you're giving a bouquet to someone.
Right. They're almost like emojis, like heart emojis where I didn't realize they have different meanings.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've been sending the sexualized heart.
No idea.
The purple is passion and infatuation. I love a purple rose.
That's a love bomber.
That's a love bomber.
I don't think I've ever seen a purple rose in
I've seen
real life.
I've seen like the lavender, like light purple roses, and I love those. That one means unique love, which, you know, could be a backhanded compliment.
Right.
Yeah. I've never met anyone like you. Burgundy is devotion. Now, some of these I find hilarious because, okay, like, for example, deep pink is gratitude, medium pink is grieving, but also congratulations.
Okay.
So I just find it hilarious that like
dad died.
Yeah, like you're giving someone a rose and it's either like thank you or like you've upset me, but you have to go with context. Yeah, you have to go with context. Or for example, like salmon, peach, and rose. These are like basically, these are like the same color. Salmon means desire and excitement, and peach is gratitude, and orange is fascination. Like pick a lane.
Right.
These are all the same. I love a salmon color rose.
I had a rose bush growing up that I personally chose. My mom let me choose something from the nursery. Mm-hmm. And it was like a yellowish tinge with a pink like outlining edge. A pink edge. Yes. And it smelled like a tea rose.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
Have you ever been to the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens?
Yes.
It's so lovely. And they have a huge field of cherry blossoms, which is incredible, but they have an entire section that's just dedicated to roses, to rose blossoms. It's just this huge garden. I love going in there because you have that kind of unique experience of being in New York where you can get so far away from buildings.
Right. It's kind of a nice escape.
You almost feel like, I'm not even in New York anymore.
Yeah, it's a portal.
It's a portal. It's such an incredible place to go. I went there on a date one time.
Somebody showed there is that a black one?
Oh yeah, the black one.
I just saw an actual photo. They're rare.
Oh, but it is. I was wondering. I was like, are these dyed?
Yeah.
This one says morning and chic style. It's like, which is it? Am I sad or amazing? Yeah.
It's goth, which is chic style.
It is chic style.
I would love to get a black rose.
Oh, my
but
gosh.
I think they are quite rare.
The Goth Bachelor. Yeah. How fun would that be?
Why don't they do that? I mean, they did the Senior Bachelor and people were really into that.
Yeah.
They should do more niche
bachelors.
Bachelors.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let me bang through the rest of these. No, I'm getting an ad for
now you'll never
Digest.
get back.
Cream is charm and thoughtfulness. White is innocence and new love. Yellow is friendship. Green is good news and new beginnings. I've never seen a green rose.
I
wonder if these
either.
are dyed. Green and then blue is mystery, which feels suspicious.
Right.
Right. I don't want to get a mysterious bouquet of
what's
blue roses. Yeah.
What
Who
a
are
mixed
you?
Yeah.
And then rainbow is uniqueness, hope, and pride.
I bet you most of these you cannot get at the
You can't get these
florist anymore.
At your corner place.
Yeah. But I do want to look into it to see where you could get, if there's a place that's like an exotic flower shop.
Oh, now that would be cool.
Like where you get that one plant that only blooms every 3 years. And when it does, it smells like a corpse.
Oh. That's a fun. I wonder what the meaning behind that one is. You're late and you're wrong. I love giving a flower. That was so funny though. When I was looking up some of the other flower meetings of the Victorian era to like give a flower a gift that's like just a slap in the face to someone.
Right.
You're like an asshole.
What's an insulting?
Enjoy.
Well, people now, like some people get, I don't want to say offended, maybe, but like certain flowers now have gotten a bad reputation. Like we were talking about carnations.
Oh yeah, carnations. It's seen as like a cheaper flower, but they're beautiful.
Well, I think because did you ever have this in your school where on Valentine's Day you could buy carnations for people?
Oh, that's nice.
And there was always 2 or 3 girls that got an insane amount, and then the rest of us got nothing.
Yeah.
And it was so
You're like,
comical and sad at the same time, where you're like,
is this a
"Can we-
socially
what-
conscious fundraiser?
What are we doing? Why are we
Yeah.
doing this?" But I don't want to be a participation trophy for everyone, but
Right.
it would be like the most popular beautiful girl would get like 20 carnations, and then the rest of our were like,
Yeah, it's like, what's the meaning of this holiday? It's like, Stephanie's hot. We get it. We already knew. It's so funny. Yeah.
someone's giving BJ's.
I remember one time I had a friend, a comic, he gave his... I remember he bought like for Valentine's Day, we were like out doing open mics, and he bought for his wife like those kind of like cheap, that like really cheap that you see at the corner flower shop, like the dyed blue daisies.
Yeah.
And I remember kind of being like, oh, like maybe a different one. And I saw him a couple days later, and I was like, did she like him? And he was like, she just started crying. And I was like, weird. Well, better than one time a comic I know, he bought his girlfriend a sack of flour for Valentine's Day.
Hilarious.
I know. And I was like, did she? I don't think you should do that.
I know. I don't think pranks hit hard on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I wouldn't go for punny. It's more of a romantic.
You want something that when your girlfriend is like, he gave me this, everyone's like,
Good job.
oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Does-
I like a hydrangea.
Oh, I love hydrangeas. And like hydrangeas,
Yes.
they're so interesting to me because did you know that they change color based on the acidity?
Yes.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Because sometimes you go to, not to brag, I would do a comedy festival in Nantucket, which I always thought was, I'm like, how's this guy making this happen? Nobody's making money on this.
Nantucket you can actually go to from New York by boat.
It's amazing. It's probably one of my favorite places on earth, but it's hydrangeas.
Oh, everywhere.
Yeah, central. It's beautiful.
I'm thinking of doing hydrangeas for my wedding, actually.
They're really pretty.
Yeah, they're so beautiful. And they also take up a lot of volume, which I think
Right.
is good because we are doing, I would love to have a big floral budget for my wedding, but I just don't.
I do think, I was talking about this with Jared Freed once. We were talking about like what brings a wedding to the next level. And we all said, when you can tell somebody has money when you see an amazing
outstanding
floral
florals.
arrangements.
Yeah.
Where it's not just like one daisy in a glass.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
have like flowers everywhere. You're like, oh, okay, this person there's a budget happening. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we are doing DIY flowers for my wedding. My mom is doing them, but I think something that is fun, which I got the inspiration actually from Fern Botanica, is like, oh, maybe we should do like a flower arranging class together.
Yeah.
Because that's a fun thing, also inexpensive in a way. It's like what a fun activity.
Yes.
Like ladies thing to do. But so we're keeping the flower budget low, but I wish it's so hard to make choices like that with a wedding where I'm like, I wish that I could just spend like, $10,000.
Right.
But next wedding.
Next wedding.
Once I get the alimony.
When you renew your vows.
When I renew my vows. Well, I saw a video on TikTok that was going viral, and this girl was like, she had reached out to get the initial quote for the flower budget for her wedding, and they said that they sent an email back, and it was like the minimum was $45,000.
It's an insane budget.
And she was like, I mean, the minimum, like it was like a run of the mill.
That's like 4 times my wedding budget.
Yeah, like how high is the budget? That's got to be at least $500,000 that you're spending on the wedding, that you're spending that much on flowers.
Yeah.
So, but I do love I love giving flowers as a gift. Like my favorite times to give flowers are birthdays.
I like the ones that you got me, the yellow ones.
Such a good and that's a time that I would go for like a luxury flower bouquet, like a birthday or like when somebody has a baby.
Yeah.
You got a lot of flowers when you
I did. I got it. Yes. I think from New York Comedy Club, and then some other. I got flowers, and I like them.
Yeah, like sending flowers. Like for Mother's Day, I've sent flowers. Like I love using like the upscale.
Well, you know what's great when you get flowers? You also get a vase or a vase.
Oh, a vase.
Who says I can't? I never know.
Is
it pretentious to say A vase?
I say vase. I get a vase. A vase. Well, some places have now, which I really like. They have the delivery option of just no vase, because you end up getting like
I have
18
a shit ton.
glasses that look the same, and that also you could get it at Salvation Army or something for like $2.
Right.
Yeah.
I just have now if I do get flowers, I'm like, I have a vase. I have a vase.
I have a vase. Y'all want to come over and look at my new vase? That's my character on here, Cracker Barrel Karen.
If I did cribs and I was like, and this is my vase collection that I got for free, and these are my Tupperwares that I collect from Chinese takeout.
Yeah, my Cool Whip
which are actually
jars.
really great.
They're the best thing to
They're
use.
the best. That's what restaurants use to store food. So
Put 'em in a
I
little-
like it. You slap a tape on it.
Meal prep right there.
Oh,
you're good.
Easy breezy.
You're good. One thing I like, which this is a great way, like a little bit more inexpensive way to do a bouquet that will also last forever, that I saw on Fern Botanica's website when I've been stalking them. Dried flower bouquet,
Okay.
which I see like. I love like dried
Okay,
lavender.
bouquet.
Okay, bouquet. I see like dried lavender at the store all the time, and I've been like really wanting to like make that into a bouquet.
Yes.
Just for myself. I love lavender. I love the scent of it.
I'm just trying to think what would be funny for you to hold that people would
Walking-
have to look at you closer and be like, what?
Walking down the aisle, are you saying?
Like
For my
just a fistful of forks.
Oh my gosh, so alt theater, so off Broadway. This I do.
You don't tell Mike.
Oh, wedding prank. I was thinking, if I
Or like just carry that plant.
this a giant potted plant. I actually do love, and they have this. I was like kind of looking into this, but I think it's just too much consumerism for me. But they have like on Amazon, they have like you can order like 100 tiny cacti for like wedding favors or table centerpieces. But it's like, it's not, I can't be giving a succulent to someone like foisting a succulent on someone that they have to take a flight
With
back, and I'm like,
as if
please.
they're like, reminds me of that movie, The Professional.
Yeah. Carrying it, you have to like buy its own seat for the plane.
You're like, or you get send them home with big wide brimmed hats that they have to travel with.
Yeah. Here you go. Enjoy. But yeah, I love the idea of doing not even maybe necessarily like florals, but like plants. Because I like plants, but I think that it's just not the way to go because it's too much maintenance. It's like, what happens to them after the wedding?
Right. We just did fake. My mother-in-law found fake succulents, and we just did that as centerpieces on a charger.
That's
which
great.
Are these? Yeah,
That's great. Yeah.
Nobody cared. Nobody noticed.
Yeah.
but it did fill out the space, and it looked cute.
You need
Because
something.
succulents had a moment.
Succulents were having a moment. Yeah.
And it was one of those things where you're like, I want succulents, and then I didn't realize that succulents are actually quite high maintenance.
They're tricky. You cannot overwater them. And
No.
it's very hard to know when you're overwatering. I have one succulent that's alive still, but I'm always really drawn to those, like, you see those little it'll be like a little rectangular planter, and they've got like 8 little succulents, like kind of like
you're like,
arranged, like they're
oh.
in there. They're like, oh, it's a little community.
They're
And
talking to each
Oh my
other.
gosh! And there's like a little stone, a little like
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love those. But then they never drain. They never have like the drain under them.
No.
So then you just end up killing them immediately, which
And
is
then
clearly what
having, like,
happened
a
to
brown
me.
mess on
Yeah.
your windowsill.
Yeah, and then then your self-esteem plummets. But something like that I would love to have as a centerpiece, which it's never going to happen. But what we are doing is my mom has been collecting
What about ferns?
I love ferns.
I do love ferns.
There's something so
It's a good hanging plant.
I love hanging plants.
Yeah.
The ferns are so magical because they're like one of the oldest beings. Did you know that? They're like
Yeah.
prehistoric.
And they're weird because they have spores.
Yeah, the spores are weird. It's like, I don't know if I want spores at my wedding. Mind the fern. You're just like pushing past.
What if
the
you did
fern.
dandelions?
I love dandelions. I think
Even
that's
the
something-
ones that have
the-
pre-flower.
the fuzz.
The fuzz.
People are like having an allergic reaction.
And it's hay fever.
A little hay fever.
Yeah.
Get in there. It's my wedding. That would be actually so cute, I think, to do like the little puffs. But then it's like, well, when do you even ever get those?
When you walk,
people blow them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is that a new thing? A new trend?
Oh my gosh. Did we
should
create
make
a startup?
Fake wedding trends.
Fake wedding trends.
Yes.
Your dad roasts the groom.
Yeah.
Well, what we are doing so far, I think what we're doing is my mom is finding like shallow vases and bowls. She's finding those, and then she's going to do an arrangement within them of flowers that we order, and we just have them delivered to the hotel. So she and then like some other women that will be on the flower duty will have like a little time arranging flowers. So I think that'll be fun. It'll be fun to have like a flower arranging activity for certain people that are into crafts, like during the wedding festivities.
I love a good craft.
Love a little craft.
Right.
So I think that, hopefully I do actually want to take like a flower designing course now, but I think that they'll probably, either use the foam, although I know that the styrofoam is like,
There's also
that's not
a little
good.
thing that you get that has little spikes.
Yeah, you can
put
get
those in
something
there.
else that's not like the foam is, let's face it. You don't want to use it because it's bad.
Oh, okay.
The foam is bad for the environment. I don't know why, but I guess it's just styrofoam.
Right.
It's just, nothing's good. Flowers are good though. But one thing I do feel like, well, speaking of eco, something that's a little like, everything is bad, as we know. Everything's bad. And
I've stopped caring.
You don't care.
I just
You don't
stopped
care.
caring. I fly my private jet and I do not care
You dump
anymore.
pesticides. Well, one thing I was reading that is a bummer about like when you get, I think that's one reason it's so nice to shop local for florists, because like you get these like cheap roses and stuff and they're all from like Ecuador.
Yeah, it's always Ecuador.
And they're
one of the bigger.
Yeah. And it's like it's an issue of they have a lot of local women there and then they just hose these plants down with pesticides.
Oh.
So it's like, that's
the
not
dark
cool.
underbelly.
The underbelly of flowers. It's like,
the moss of the flower world.
yeah, it's like, I love you, but not her.
Yeah.
She's now got fetal complications, so it's not good. So you have to look into it. Be a conscious consumer. Or, I always love like...
Blood flowers.
Blood flowers.
Yeah.
Blood diamonds, yeah. But I always love like also, like when you get a local bouquet, and it's not just roses, mixed in with like local... other seasonal flowers. That's
Isn't
where
it
it's
weird
nice.
that also certain flowers are synonymous with like what's the one, cowlicks for funerals?
Yes, there's like the funerary flowers.
That's not called a cowlick. It's
calla lilies.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cowlick
yeah.
is your hair.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder what flower this is.
Yeah, the white one that kind of
the calla
horns
lilies.
out
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I like funeral flowers. I think I was reading one thing about, speaking of Kate Middleton, back on our
Is she alive?
Our theories. I was reading something about her wedding bouquet was all white flowers. Because white flowers are a symbol of like purity and like all these different things, but they also are usually like funeral flowers. But her bouquet was like super orchestrated to be like this perfect bouquet of like her and the marriage, the royal marriage. It was like, this one is for trustworthiness, this one is for chastity, this one is like fastidiousness. It was like really funny. I'm sure there's like a British person like, yes, I see it. Like a flower enthusiast.
Like, oh yeah, it's kind of flower QAnon.
Flower QAnon.
Like,
yeah.
did you see the rose that? Do you know what that means, right?
Yeah. She's not well.
She's not. She's got cancer.
Bless her heart.
How is she
we
doing?
hope she.
We should do a whole episode on Kate
deep
Middleton.
dive. Where
People
is she?
really lost their shit on that.
I know, it's wild.
And I actually did not give a shit.
It's
one
Lady
bit
Journey.
about that.
It's like Lady Journey Flat Earth.
I mean, people went bonkers.
They went bonkers. Maybe we'll do it for the Patreon. Tune in. We will be traveling to London.
I will
Any
find out
excuse.
what happened to Kate Middleton. And we'll make up our own theories.
And we will be making up our own bouquets.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to Lady Journey, everybody.
Yeah.
Please join our Patreon, $5 and $10 tiers. And
subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, please do. And please come to our show July 31st at the Grove in Astoria. Lady
Thank you.
Journey.
Lady Journey.